Many people are really excited for the Federal Reserve to start cutting rates again soon. The president especially being one of them, because he's sitting on $10 trillion of government debt that is being rolled over every single year into short-term T-bills that he wants to refinance, roll over into longer-term debt once it's cheaper. So he wants the Fed to cut rates so he can lock in those lower debt prices. But the problem is, the last time the Federal Reserve cut rates in 2024, it took the 10-year Treasury from 3.6% all the way up to 4.8%. This was the opposite effect that it had on things like T-bills. Short-term debt, the interest rates did go down along with the Federal Reserve cuts. But long-term debt, like even 30-year Treasuries, went from 3.9% all the way up to 5%, which means that while the Federal Reserve is likely to start cutting rates soon, it is not likely to have a significant impact on long-term interest rates going lower. This would affect things like mortgages, auto loans, and even credit card debt. And the reason is because of this chart right here. Inflation, the thing that the Federal Reserve is supposed to now keep at 2%, because the market understands that if the Federal Reserve lowers rates, it makes short-term borrowing for the US government easier. When the government spends that money into existence, it drives the money supply higher. When there's more money, that means higher prices, more inflation. When there's higher prices and more inflation, it means debt in the free market, or at least somewhat controlled by the free market, like longer-term treasuries and mortgages and auto loans. It means interest rates of all that debt will go up in order to compensate for that extra loss in purchasing power. This means the Federal Reserve is about to make its job even harder by lighting inflation on fire from cutting interest rates, which will at the same time make long-term US government borrowing more expensive.